What's up, Rebugs? So today we are going to be talking about how to get that princess treatment while I'm on my way to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I had to put my wig in first, y'all, so we could do my makeup. So I'm going to do my makeup and I'm going to give y'all 3 tips on how to always attract princess treatment, because we are only getting princess treatment only. Really, we're goddesses, so it's really goddess treatment. You feel me? Bow down on your knees and worship me, okay? But let's get into it, yeah.
When I feel what I feel, sometimes it's hard to tell you so. You may not be in the mood to learn what you think you know. There are times when I find you wanna keep yourself from me. I'm just a mirror of what I see.
So when I'm doing my makeup, I do like to use two primers. I'm following the technique of Unchi. I'm not sure how to say her name, but before I even came across her technique, I used to do my makeup similar to hers, but I did adapt using 2 primers like how she does. So she uses 2 primers before she does her face. So I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Puttyless Pore Primer and also the e.l.f. Grip Primer. It is really hot in Houston, y'all, so you really got to have your primer on, especially in the summertime, because it's about to start getting really hot outside, y'all. So you really got to have your primer on, especially when you're not doing too much foundation. Should I do foundation today? I don't really know. But anyhow, so after y'all put my poreless putty primer, I like to do the pores first because it closes them up and kind of blurs them. What's going on with this wig right here? Because it kind of blurs them. And then I like to go in with the grip because the grip is what makes it stick to your face, okay? So the first step in getting princess treatment only is you have to show up. Show up as a princess already, okay? I know it's very, very hard to do because society teaches women that we shouldn't be, we shouldn't ask for money, because if we ask for money, it's too forward, right? If we ask for money, it's too forward. If we, if we show up as a princess already, wanting to be treated like the queens and the princesses that we are, people try to tell us that's, entitlement. But you have to show up already wanting to be treated like a princess. I show up demanding the treatment that I want. And by me showing up demanding the treatment that I want, the universe has no choice but to give it to me. Okay? I can already feel my face tightening up. So I'm going to go in with the Knick Knack Super Brow Fixer. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. I love doing my makeup. And I'm definitely a makeup girly, but I don't be really too deep into name brands. Now, when it comes to foundation and skincare, definitely into name brands all the way. I used to really be into name brands once upon a time because that's really how my YouTube channel started. But I stopped doing makeup because it really wasn't my passion. And you have to do what's passionate. We talked about that last week. But anywho, in order to receive princess treatment, you have to show up as a princess already. You have to show up knowing like people are gonna bow at your feet. If you show up feeling like, you deserve less than, and, you're scared to really step into your power and embrace your divine femininity and really demand the treatment that you desire, you're never gonna get it, babes. Which is really step number 2. Step number 2 is, showing up in your Venus energy. And that assists you with showing up as a princess, okay? If you show up as a princess, and you got to think about, okay, how do princesses act? If you ask yourself, how do princesses act? Princesses literally, in some countries, get rose petals thrown at their feet. I think that's a popular meme going around now. Like every zodiac season, it's like, oh, it's blah 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 season. Throw petals at my feet. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel all the time, even when it's not Taurus season, even though it is Taurus season. So throw petals at my feet. You feel me? But yeah, that's how I feel. Like, you have to show up as a princess. So think about, how do princesses act, right? Princesses get rose petals thrown at their feet. Princesses, you know, they show up and have an air or a presence of power. And with them having an aura and a presence of power, they are already having the world bow down at their feet. So every time you walk into a room, I want you to walk into that room feeling like everybody gonna bow down at your feet. Because everybody should. Because you're that girl. You feel me? You're that girl and you deserve the world. Which brings me to step number 2 that I stated earlier, right? So step number 2 is embodying your Venusian energy. So how do we embody our Venusian energy, right? So we embody our Venusian energy by first finding out what is your Venusian energy. So you could do this by booking an astrology reading. There are a lot of astrologers that I could definitely recommend in the detail box. Oh, and by the way, I'm filling in my brows with the NYX Makeup Professional. I like my brows to look really, really, really natural. And this is easier for me to fill in like the sparse areas while still keeping it really, really really, really natural. Now, I know some people feel some type of way about black brows. You know, I feel like to each his own. Now, I have used the NYX Professional Makeup, you know, eyeliner in brown, and to me, I mean, it fills it in, but I still be feeling like my eyebrow be missing hairs, even though I done took forever to fill this in. So I switched over to black, and I actually really, really like it. So, I mean, to me, I feel like this eyebrow looks fuller than that one. Don't you think? But anywho, back to what I was saying. So in order to embody your Venusian energy, you have to find out, okay, well, what is your Venusian energy? What is it? You know? So that's when you need to book an astrologer. So for me personally, I am a Taurus sun, so I'm already a Venusian. My ego, which is what your sun sign is, my ego is the embodiment of a Venusian. I like nice luxury things. I like to feel nice. I like pleasure, you know, whether it's with food, massages, whatever the case may be. But my Venus, because Venus is a planet of abundance and love and wealth, okay? And, you know, just all around luxury, that sign for me is also in Taurus. So I really love, and I love to feel loved, okay? So you have to book an appointment with an astrologer to figure out what sign is in your Venus house. And that's the energy that you need to show up in. You need to look up the characteristics of that zodiac sign. And that's how you need to show up in your romantic relationships. I feel like a lot of women, you know, let social media tell them how they would prefer to be loved instead of actually doing the inner work and the shadow work to figure out how they like to be loved themselves. Nobody can tell you what you like. Like, you might could see something on social media and be like, oh yeah, that's cute. Oh yeah, I like that. But then when you get it, you be like, it's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I say all the time, social media could tell you all day, oh, tell him to get you a Birkin, tell him to get you a Birkin, tell him to get you a Birkin. But if you're not a Birkin girly, it doesn't matter. And I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm looking down, because I'm doing my makeup and I'm talking to y'all. So I don't want y'all to think I'm not here, because I'm here. I'm here with y'all. Okay? But yeah, like, I'm telling y'all now, like, stop letting other people tell you what you value and what's important to you. I literally was having a conversation with my homegirl the other day, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I used to be very gung-ho, like really gung-ho on not dating men with kids, right? Because I had one child, and I was just like, okay, I got one child, you know, not really sure if I want to have more. But, you know, I was really going through this thing where I wanted to be the first priority in a man's life. Just very toxic thinking, because I wasn't even the first priority in my own life to be asking that from somebody else. And when you're trying to be in a healthy relationship, that person has to be their first priority. That person has to put themselves first, just like you should be putting yourself first. And then the second priority should be, you know, your kids, if you got them, and then y'all together. So you're really never going to be anybody's first priority. But that was my twisted thinking around dating men with no kids, right? I'm gonna go in and correct with my LA Pro Girl for my dark spots, you know, just to even my skin out for the foundation application. So yeah, I had very toxic thinking around dating men with children. And with me having that very toxic thinking around dating men with kids, because I wanted to be their first priority, I really never gave men who had children a chance, you know? And I'm not talking about like a man who has 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, which, I mean, if you feel like you can handle that, I'm not knocking you. It's like, because the truth of the matter is, as long as he's taking care of them and can take care of you too and meeting your standards, baby, that man can have umpteen kids. You know what I'm saying? Cause Eve sure do. The rapper, like, who's that girl? Her billionaire husband got 5 kids. When she met him, that man had 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? So it really don't matter how many kids you got, as long as you can take care of them. But I get it, you know, if you don't have children, you don't have to date people who don't have kids, because you're coming to the table with no kids, you know? But I used to really be very, 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 very gung-ho about that, because, you know, I had very toxic, twisted thinking, and also, you know, social media influencing me to not date men who have a bunch of children, because, you know, they're gonna have child support, they're not gonna be able to take care of you. Just really bad, false, negative stereotypes, okay, that was really shaping my dating life, and honestly making it very hard for me to date. It was making it very hard for me to date, because, you know, the older you get, it does get a little bit harder to not date people who have children, because people have lived, you know, people have completed. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible, because I'm definitely not on this channel to stop y'all from going after your desires. That's not what we're here for. If you are steady set and you don't want men with kids, that's cool. I love that for you. But back to what I was saying, I let society keep me from so many good men, because I just didn't want to even give them the chance. Like, as soon as I found out that you had kids, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with you. I cut off so many good men because I wanted absolutely nothing to do with you. But these men were ready to love me in my Venusian energy. They were ready to cater to the energy of my sign. They were ready to, you know, adorn me with gifts, because that's important to somebody who has a Venus in Taurus, like being physically pleased, you know, having physical acts of love showed to them. I'm gonna go in with the color fawn under my eyebrows. Yeah, they were ready to love me the way I wanted to be loved, but again, because I was already counting to be real with y'all, I was already counting their pockets before they met me. I was like, oh, you got all these kids, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing for me. I was counting their pockets. I was all in their business, and I shouldn't have been doing that. I was already like, oh, you got all these kids, you're not gonna be able to take care of me, you're not gonna be able to, you know, do nothing for me, blase, blase, blase. I'm not about to be fooling with you, because I'm not gonna be your first priority. Again, toxic thinking, you know, selfish thinking. Because I literally seen a video the other day, and the video said, people who are healed look to serve others. Toxic people look for themselves to be served. And I was very, very, very toxic in that way of thinking when I was dating. And you know, it kept me from a lot of great men who I've seen going on and get married. Now, granted, that doesn't mean to say that they were going to be the perfect man for me, because we'll never know, you know, and I definitely don't regret my decisions because it was all a learning process. But what I will say is, me not really embodying my Venusian energy, me not sitting down dissecting what's important to me, what is going to make me feel loved, and just focusing really on the outside things, was keeping me from really embracing dating high value men. Because high value does not equivalent to income, y'all. It doesn't. I have been on dates with millionaires. I have been on dates with, you know, professional business players, six figure people, you know, and if the morals ain't there, the morals ain't there. And that's what makes them high value for me. Now, high value for you may mean high earning, you know, but for me, it's the character traits. Yes, I want you to be able to take care of me, because any high value man is going to take care of you regardless. So it's really redundant for you to even bring up the money part. Not saying that money's not important. Money is very important to provide stability, especially if your Venus energy is an earth sign. You know, again, back to embodying your Venus energy for you to attract that princess treatment that you want. You have to book an appointment with an astrologer, find out the degree of your, you know, the degree of the sign that's in your Venus. You know what I'm saying? That houses your Venus planet. So you gotta, because I have one friend, she's a Pisces, right? She's the Pisces Venusian. Right? So with her being a Pisces Venusian, romance is very important to her. She likes illusions, the illusion of romance, the illusion of being together. Appearances of your relationship is very important to her. Okay? I have another friend, she is a Leo in Venus. With her being a Leo in Venus, she loves to be loved out loud. So dating her and not posting her picture and not, you know, bragging to the world that you're in love with her is going to be a problem for her. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear. I'm going to combine it with the L'Oreal True Match. So I'm going to do 2 pumps of each. And that's really not a lot of foundation. I just do 2 pumps of each and I mix them. And I cover my face with it. I do a nice little like landscape, like paint and brush like this first. And then I go in with a dense blush and blend it out. To me, it just gives it a very airbrush look. This is also part of Unuche. I hate that I don't know how to pronounce her name. I really should have looked that up before I started this video. But that's part of her technique as well. I used to just use a dense brush, but I am liking the way that this applies better because of the fact that it really does like get it into your skin, which is why the primer is so important, which is why she does the double primer, I'm assuming, because it really does like be in your skin to give your skin like a nice flawless finish. Figure out your Venus sign. So when you're showing up as that princess, demanding, your presence is going to be demanding that you be treated like the goddess that you are. You're going to be able to look for who's going to appeal and please you, because you're not only showing up as a princess, but you're showing up in your Venus energy, knowing what type of love you're looking for. And nobody's going to be able to tell you what you should and shouldn't want for yourself. Because I do think, even though I love social media, I do think social media has kind of created this like fake competition with us, and everybody's trying to do better than everybody else, and everybody's trying to be relationship goals. But your relationship goals should be what you want them to be. It should be exactly what you want them to be. And once you find out what you want them to be, once you find out that Venus energy for yourself, what you really want for you and your house, you'll be able to really get the treatment that you want. That's really the key. That's really the gag. Okay? That's the gag. That's the kinks and the katas, like I say. Because I am a Taurus Venus. So gifts, romance, dates, tangible, physical things are going to be what makes me feel loved the most. So if he's not doing that, I'm not going to feel like I'm getting that princess treatment. And I got to go. I got to move on. My Leo friend, if she not being loved out loud, she start feeling like she not getting that Venus treatment. And she got to go. So, in order to attract princess treatment, you got to, 1, show up as a princess. Think about how princesses act. How they walk into the room. And their aura demands that they be treated like royalty because they are. Okay? Write down tangible things like, okay, when I come in, I want to walk in with my head held high, with my chest back, with my chin up, with my locks flowing, because I am that girl. I am a goddess. Okay? Then you're going to book a reading with an astrologer to find out. Got a little bit of makeup in my hair. I'll get it out in a minute. You're going to book a reading with an astrologer to find out what your Venus sign is in and what characteristics that zodiac sign embodies, so that way you can start showing up, you know, as that sign when you're dating, when you're vetting these high value men. Let's do my concealer. So I like to go in with Pure Beige, if I can find it. Woo-hoo. So I like to go in with Pure Beige by LA Girl. I like to go in with this. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I put a lot of concealer on because I like a really bright under eye. And this is also from Unche's Techniques as well. Because she said the reason why her base is always flawless, which it really is, and I'll tag her channel down at the bottom too, is because she says she likes to keep the makeup where it's supposed to go. And I have to say, I honestly was really guilty of like smearing my makeup everywhere. Not really smearing, but I would blend too heavy-handed. And when I would blend too heavy-handed, I would not keep the makeup where it was supposed to stay. So it would kind of like just end up all kind of blended together. There would be no real definition in my face of like where my highlighter was. Not really highlight, but my concealer. I don't know why I'm saying contour and concealer. I'm mixing my words up. But there would be no pure, like no real definition, you know? So while I do that, I'm going to go, while I let that sit there for a little minute, I'm going to go in with my contour. Get your words together, Sherita. Gosh. I'm going to go in with my contour and I'm going to freshen up. I'm going to carve out my face. Now, y'all don't have to do this. Like, again, you know, I'm not really a makeup expert, even though this channel did start off as like a makeup channel. I'm not really a contour, you know, a makeup expert. I just do what I like to do. So don't be coming in my comments talking about some, oh, you supposed to do this and oh, you supposed to do that. I do what I like for my face, okay? And I like to contour because I got chubby cheeks, y'all. I have really chubby cheeks and I like to make my face, you know, just a little skinnier. Once you have started showing up like the princess you are to attract that princess treatment, it's really gonna make y'all irresistible. Like, once you really start treating yourself like the princess you are, the world has no choice but to start treating you like that too. What Erykah Badu say? You're not what you say. You're what you believe. You're not what you do. You're what you believe. So if you believe you are a princess, baby, that's what you are. You believe you're a goddess, that's what you are. You believe people are supposed to be worshiping at your feet, that's what you are. Okay? So once you start showing up as that, you book an astrologer, you find out what your Venus energy is, what your Venus sign is, you know, what sign rules your Venus, so you know how you want to be loved, so you know what your specific princess treatment is. You are going to start asking for what you want. Stop being afraid to ask for what you want. I know there is a lot of femininity coaches, even women that I be seeing on social media, who be like, oh, you don't gotta ask for princess treatment, you know, he just gives it, which is very true to some extent. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, men are not mind readers. He could be thinking that he's doing any and everything to make you happy, and you're sitting over there not happy because he's not doing one specific thing, because you won't open your mouth, is, for lack of a very better word, stupid. Nobody's going to read your mind. Y'all have got to put on your big girl panties and start asking for what you want. Okay? And now there is a certain way that you have to ask for your what you want. Don't go out here trying to date a high value man and talk about, oh, I just want you to pay my bills. Just pay these bills. Oh, he want my phone number. I'm gonna charge him for my number. I'm gonna be real with y'all, and this is no shade, because I absolutely love sex workers. That's sex work. If you're charging somebody for a meetup fee, baby, that is sex work. That's sex work, sugar. That's what that is. Because it's really a lot of y'all that are really prostitutes around here. And as soon as somebody say y'all are prostitutes, y'all get offended. But that's because y'all really don't know what sex work is. And that's why you're offended. You shouldn't be getting offended by what you are. And that's the real tea. You should not be getting offended by what you are. But the problem is, y'all live in delusional city and don't really want to call y'all selves what y'all are. And again, this is no shade. I love sex workers. I do. But I also pride myself on being very realistic. And a lot of y'all are out here not being realistic. You want a man to pay for your phone number just because you're you? That's not princess treatment, babe. That's not goddess treatment, babe. That is legit entitlement. Okay? And to be honest with you, if you're out here dating high value men and the first thing coming out your mouth is that you need him to pay your bills, you don't need a high value man. You need another source of employment. You need to get yourself together and not be dating nobody, because you need help to survive. And unless you want to start charging, seriously start charging for your services like a real prostitute, y'all need to stop doing that. It is a way to ask, though. It is a way to ask for what you need with grace, but going into it very aggressively and with entitlement, it's gonna get you nowhere. It's gonna get you nowhere, babes. It's gonna get you nowhere every single time. I literally had a homeboy that I put on a homegirl, and he was like, oh, I had to stop talking to your friend. And I was like, why? I'm gonna go in and spritz with the Makeup Revolution Matte Fix Spray. I know y'all like, dang, yeah, girl. Gotta set this face. Gotta set it. While I'm waiting on that to dry. So he was like, yeah, I had to stop talking to your homegirl. And I was like, why? He was like, oh, well, I had to stop talking to her because she asked me to pay to get her hair done. So, you know, I was like, Okay, well, what's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? He was like, no, like, you don't understand. We haven't been texting. We haven't been, she hasn't called me. Like, he was like, I legit have not had one conversation with this girl long enough for me to even ask her on a date. And she was already asking me to pay for her hair. And he was like, I'm not gonna lie. He was like, that really turned me off, and I really don't want to fool with her no more, because it's like, dang, you ain't even take time to get to know me. You ain't even take time to really try to finesse me. You just straight up asking me for money. And he was like, and to be honest with you, it just kind of blew me, and it just was really distasteful. And I was like, I couldn't even really say anything, because I agreed. I definitely agreed. Like, you haven't even been out on a date with the man yet. You haven't had no type of conversation with him. You treat him like an ATM. Just like how women don't like to be used and abused for their bodies, men do not like to be used and abused for their money. You have to treat them like a human being, because to be honest with you, society doesn't really do a great job at doing that, especially for black men. Okay? So y'all have got to chill out on, just pay my bills, charge for my number. If you are treating him like he is a trick, you are going to be his elite employee. Okay? And that is also called sex work. That is what that is. So y'all be mad because y'all be wanting to have this man treat y'all like a boo thing, but you going in there acting like his employee. We're all confused, babe. Oh, just so y'all know, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me. I like to set up under my eyes with this first. Now, I don't know what powder Unchi uses, because this is a step she does as well. But this is what I do. I use this one because it's a really good matte translucent powder, and I really try to get up under my eyes, y'all, because my eyes sink in a little bit. I just don't want them to be creasing. And I also do a little bit on my nose as well. And also, this is a very good way to like set your eyes without worrying about them, you know, creasing really bad, because sometimes you can pick everything up on the beauty sponge, and the beauty sponge be leaving like patches and stuff, and I don't really like that. So this is a good way to make sure everything is smooth. So don't do that, y'all. Now, if you need help with, you know, learning how to ask a man for money, I do have a How to Ask a Man for Money course, a mini course in my description box, okay? Because y'all asking for bill money, but bill money should already be paid. Bill money should already be covered. We need to be asking for big boy stuff that's really gonna push our lives forward. You see why I like to set with that other powder first? You see how kind of patchy that is? And I'm also pressing in too. I'm pressing in. To solidify the brightness. But yeah, y'all gotta stop doing that. Stop being all bold and stuff. Cause y'all, I think a lot of y'all forget men can cut y'all off too. And I know somebody gonna be on here like, I don't care if a man cut me off. You'll care if you get a good one. You'll care if he cut you off. Now, this is not to be a pick me and a people pleaser, but let's be real, y'all. It's some people out there you can't replace. And even if you did replace them, because you know it is always bigger and better, you may not come up on them as soon as you think you are. So let's move strategic and treat people with kindness, okay? Treat people with love and respect, because if you got a high value man, they do deserve that, okay? Like, stop letting these rappers and social media have y'all thinking that these men don't deserve to be treated well as you do. because you want to know exactly what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to fumble the ball on somebody who you really should have valued. I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible foundation powder. This is a couple of shades darker than me to set my contour. I am a liquid and powder girl. So whatever I put on my face as a liquid, I'm setting it with a powder. Because like I said, I live in Texas. It's hot. Now, I need to figure out what I'm going to be doing for my summer foundation. Because, y'all, I do not want my face to be slipping and sliding out here. So, I got to figure out a good makeup routine. Because, y'all, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So, I'm going to go back in. I'm going to just brush this powder off. I don't set long. I don't set long because it's hot in Texas once again. And I don't need my face to be dry. Powder does dry out your face. Okay? So while you have decided you're no longer going to be afraid to ask for you want, how you going to ask, right? Well, you could take my How to Ask a Man for Money course, but you also need to learn to communicate with grace. Learn to speak to people like a lover, which is the next step to attracting princess treatment. Learn to speak to people like a lover, y'all. Speak to people like a lover. You could practice by speaking to yourself like a lover. Because a lot of us don't. A lot of us really don't talk to ourselves very kindly. I'm going in with my foundation powder. Just to set any other areas that I didn't get. Because again, y'all, I like a very matte finish, y'all. I don't like my face to be dewy too much anywhere. Okay, so I am going to do a little bit of blush. And I like liquid blushes and powder. So I'm going to go in with the NYX Sweet Cheeks in the color Coralicious. And I like to go right here on my cheeks because I have little chick-bunk cheeks. And I like that. I'm going to go in with a little brush. I'm going to do it like this. Just to keep it concentrated. Keep it concentrated because I am going to set it with a powder. So yeah, after you decide, you're not going to be afraid to ask for what you want, you have to communicate it with grace. And you communicate it with grace by learning to speak to people as a lover, speaking to yourself as a lover. Okay, so the best way to do this is to start practice speaking to yourself like a lover. How do you want people to talk to you? How do you want your future high value partner to speak to you? Or if you already have a high value partner, how do they speak to you? Do they speak to you like a lover? I'm gonna go in with the Coral Cove by Milani, and I like to take a really big brush and do this, and that really kind of fans it out for me. Makes it kind of softer as well, not so boom. Boom, you got on blush. Even though I still be like adding way too much on there. I love blush, I really do. There we go. I love blush. I love blush so much. So much. Look at me adding more. Okay. So if you add too much blush, like me, like I always do, you can always go in with some foundation powder that's the same color as your skin, and just tone it down a little bit. Not too much though, because I love blush. Okay. For my eyes, I think I'm going to do like a nice lavender color because I'm wearing a pink and blue dress today. So I think I'm going to do a nice little lavender shade. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, this is pretty. I don't want to do too much. I like my eyeshadows to be very subtle, y'all. So what palette is this? This is, I done broke the thing. This is BH Cosmetics Full Eyes in 28 colors. These do have a little bit of a shimmer to them. So, and I've had my palettes for like a while, y'all. I know makeup be expiring, but you know, I also don't be opening my stuff for like a really long time. Start speaking to yourself like a lover. Okay, that's how you're going to attract your princess treatment. And you could start by, you know, again, speaking to yourself. And if you're already in a relationship, ask your partner, like, hey, you know, do you feel like I talk to you harsh sometimes? You know, how can I improve my communication? Because when people feel that they are heard and they are valued, you get more from them. Because they want to be around you, they want to be in your aura, they want to be in your space, and that doesn't just go for getting princess treatment from your high value partner. That goes for getting princess treatment from everybody, girl, from everybody you meet. Getting princess treatment from everyone you meet. I really kind of like this. I feel like this is not subtle at all though, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep this. I may blend in a little brown because, again, I like very subtle things. I think the older I get, I'm starting to like really subtle makeup. I know people be like, oh, that's boring. Makeup's not really my passion no more. Like, I like to be laid back, cool. And that brings me to the next step on attracting princess treatment. Be authentically yourself. Just like we was talking about earlier with, you know, embodying your Venusian energy, embodying what feels good to you, what's going to make you feel like you're loved by your partner instead of letting social media tell you what you want. Be authentically yourself. Be you, boo. Do you, boo. Don't let nobody come in and tell you how you should be loved and also who you should be. Don't let nobody come in and tell you how you should be loved and who you should be. Because that is what's going to determine if you feel like you're really being reverenced like the goddess you're supposed to be. And also, too, men love authenticity. They love when women are themselves. Because honestly and truthfully, I got into an argument on social media the other day with this girl. Well, I ain't getting into an argument because I don't be arguing with nobody. Because, baby, I'm never going to see you ever again. So, yeah. I'm never going to see you ever again to be arguing with you. I'm never going to see you ever. Not even again. I'm never going to see you ever. So us arguing for what? But yeah, so she got upset because this man had made a comment on social media, and he was like, I feel like all the women on social media are starting to look like each other. And I was like, I agree, because I do. He was like, I feel like all the women on social media are starting to wear their hair the same. You know, they're starting to get tattoos in the same place. And he was like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you like it, you know, do what you like. But, you know, it is getting a little hard to really find someone who's authentically themselves. So he made that statement. And, you know, the young lady online, she got upset and she was like, I feel like you just hating, da, 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 da. And he was like, well, I don't understand why you feel like I'm hating. Like, I'm just making a comment about something that I have seen, that I'm continuing to see. And he was like, you know, he said I dated this girl, and literally when I went out with her, I had a hard time finding her because she looked like 5 other girls in the crowd. This is the Maybelline Sky High Lash. So he was like, I had a hard time finding her because she looked like everyone in the crowd. I went up to 5 different women. He said, I went up to 5 different women to find her, and for the first 4, it wasn't even her. He was like, it's like you're all sitting in a class figuring out, learning how to look alike. And I started laughing, and she got upset with me, and she was like, oh, I feel like you just being a pick-me because you laughing at him and ain't nothing funny. And I'm like, girl, a pick-me for what? What is he picking me for? Like, what are you talking about? But I feel like that's true. A lot of people are going on social media to find out who they are instead of doing the shadow work to find out who they are. I'm going to use the e.l.f. liquid eyeliner, and I'm going to do my beauty marks. I love beauty marks. Other people don't like them. That's y'all business, but I love them. And I always do me a little triangle to have 3. Go in with my setting spray. While that is drying, I'm going to put on my lashes. Everybody does their lashes different ways, but for me, the trick for me doing my lashes is just to get you a little mini mirror, place it at the bottom of your chin. I learned this from Aaliyah J. Y'all, that's crazy that YouTube really has been around that long to where, like, I hate to say that I'm feeling old, but it's like I'm seeing so many trends come back around. It was like, oh, I remember we used to do that, That's probably how my mama be feeling. That's crazy. The young lady got upset because she was like, oh, well, I feel like, you being a pick-me. And it's like, nobody's being a pick-me. Nobody is being a pick-me. People are not authentically being themselves anymore. And it's showing. It's showing. People are picking up on it. And I think people don't realize too, authenticity is not something you can fake. It's not. When that little slogan, when people like fake it till you make it, faking who you are, you can fake it for some time. But eventually you're gonna always be shown, you're gonna be found out. People are always gonna see through the marmalade, baby. They're always gonna see that you're not who you say you are. And that's not something, that's gonna make anybody feel comfortable, because people gonna start feeling like their trust was betrayed because they thought you were somebody you're not. So now that my face is set, I'm gonna go back in with my mascara and do my under lashes. Y'all, please set y'all face before y'all do y'all under lashes. I can't tell y'all how many dang on times I done messed my eyes up. And it's like, when you mess up your eyes, it's a whole thing, for real. It really is a whole thing, because you got product and stuff up under your eyes. It's so much. People love being around people who, when you are really authentic, you cannot fake that energy in no way, form, or fashion. It's gonna eventually show, and people are gonna see that you're not really being yourself. They're gonna see that you're not being the real you, and it's gonna bleed over into your relationships, and they're not gonna want to fool with you no more. Like, do you want to fool with somebody who fake? Let's be real here. You don't want to deal with nobody who fake. I know I don't want to deal with nobody who fake. It's like, please. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go in with some eyeshadow. I don't know, y'all. I really love putting eyeshadow on my lips. I really do. See, and I feel like the pencil just helps it sit on there really good. And then I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty Fuchsia Flex. I really like this gloss. It's actually really pretty. It's currently got the makeup community in a chokehold. Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so I had to hop off camera to put my clothes on to get ready to go out. How y'all liking it? Y'all, I ran completely out of hair products, like, because I haven't had to actually install a wig in a really long time. So, you know, it's looking all right. It's definitely not my best work. I had to work with what I got, but I still look cute. Okay, so I did swap the lip gloss because it was a little too dark for the outfit and my hair. I just felt it wasn't giving what I needed it to give. But I did swap it out for the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Moon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to attract princess treatment, you have to embody being a princess. Look at me, y'all. I look like royalty. I look like royalty. I am stepping out like that girl because I am that girl, okay? You have to embody being a princess. Think about practical ways you can embody being a princess and showing up as a princess. Think about how princesses act and how they step into any room and how, you know, the world really comes to them and they command every room that they're in. Think of practical ways you could do that. If you need me to do a video on that, I definitely can. Just let me know in the comments. And, you know, after you embody that princess energy, y'all, you are going to embody your Venusian energy. Show up as your Venusian. And you find that by getting an astrologer getting a reading with an astrologer to find out what sign houses your Venus sign, so that way you could be looking for that treatment with whoever your high value partner is, because we are all different, you guys. And once you find out what kind of love you need, stop being afraid to ask for it. Stop being afraid to ask for it, but learn to ask for it with grace. Learn to communicate with grace by speaking to yourself like a lover, so therefore you can speak to your high value partner as a lover. It's really that simple. And if you feel like this video really isn't doing it for you, you feel like you are talking to yourself like a lover, but you're still having a hard time asking a man for money, check out my How to Ask a Man for Money mini class. I also have a workbook that just came out, the High Value Love Map, where you can use that workbook to literally get any high value partner you want. I tell you where to go, what to say, and how to move, y'all. It is time to get the lifestyle that you want to have and usher yourself into that soft life, because the only person holding you back is you. The only reason you're not getting princess treatment is because of you. I know this video was a little long and I was a little all over the place because I was doing my makeup. It was the first time I wanted to do a video like this. Last time we did, time before last, we did my skincare. It was a little more smooth sailing, so I do apologize if this video is all over the place, y'all. But I love it. We made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week. Happy Cinco de Mayo, y'all. Bye.